Hello, my name is Chris, and my channel is Big Guys Hike 2. And as you can see, I'm a big guy. Today, we're going to talk about my cook kit and several different variations of my cook kit. First off, I want to talk about when I first started, I took the suggestion for cheap and thought that the more expensive titanium stuff would be real pricey. In my experience, just start with these, but for anybody that still wants to try to do the budget, I'll explain this kit to you. The kit that I bought a spoon and a fork together at Walmart. They work really well, but they're kind of short. So then I took the suggestion to go to a longer spoon. I was in the military, so we ate MREs, and I do understand that when you're eating out of pouches, you get stuff all over your hands, so a longer spoon is much better. However, if you cut the bags on the side, then it doesn't have to be as long. But I went and got those. These are both I got at Walmart. Of course, you always want to have a Bic lighter. I bought the Bic lighter and then realized I should get a mini Bic. And then what I started with was a setup so I could do a wood stove. And what I haven't done yet, because I haven't used this, because I went ahead and got the lighter ones, but if you cut a U shape in this, then you can put wood in there, and then you use two lightweight tent stakes. This you can buy at Walmart in the kitchen section. It's nothing more than a utensil holder for knives and forks and stuff like that. But if you put this through here, and you put these through here, then you can place your cup in there and burn your firewood inside and heat up your cup that way. And so these weren't very expensive. And then this is a coffee mug, because everybody said you should get a coffee mug while you're out on trail. So a little coffee mug made of stainless steel from Walmart. Also from Walmart is Stanley's. This is super cheap. It's a cook pot, but it's got a really nice little handle, the lid, and it comes with 2 cups. And so you can set it up. The whole setup for that weighs 839 grams. And as you'll see soon, my other 2 kits are over half of that, or less than half of that. If you don't have any wood to burn, or during the winter, it's going to be a little difficult to use this. It is pretty heavy. I used this on a burner, and what I found was, because it's really tall and skinny, that the first time we used it, the water started boiling, and the bubbles from the water knocked the can over, and we spilt the whole thing of water. So I can't say that I recommend this system, but if you're absolutely on a budget and weight doesn't matter, then this is a cheap Walmart. Everything fits inside. You can put all your stuff inside. Put a spoon in there. Put your lighter in there, so everything fits. Well, that's your Walmart set. Then, for Christmas, a family member gave me the Toaks Titanium 1100 pot with the frying pan lid, and they gave me a long titanium spoon. Works really well. What I don't like about the spoon is when you put your kit together, the spoon doesn't fit and it sticks out, and I don't know how bendy these are, but they're not very thick, so I was worried that you would bend that. So I didn't really like the long spoon for that reason, and I'm not going to use a frying pan for anything, so I didn't like that. So what I ended up doing is I ordered online just the lid for the 1100 pot. So I got a lid now for that. And this is my kit that I'm going to use during the summer, and it comes in at 554 grams with everything included. And I have a windscreen that's made by Toaks, and it's titanium. And then I have, like I said, the lid. And then I have a pocket rocket, the Jetboil stove, and it has a self igniter, and it works really well. I've used it a couple times now, but it's bulky, and I wanted to go to a smaller cup, but the stove's too big to fit in it, so I'm hoping to get a BSR stove that'll work really well with that. But for right now, this is my stove. And then I got the Toaks titanium bendable spoon, which I like because it fits right in the pot. And then I have the smaller 110 gram fuel canister that fits in there, but if I wanted to, I can upgrade to the larger size, and it fits in there, and all the stuff fits in there with it. So I could go to a larger canister if I don't mind the weight, and if I'm going to be in a section where I'm not going to have access. So I'll have to see how long this burns. Anyway, I have a handkerchief for right now to use as a wash towel, and also to keep things from rattling around too much in there. Right now I have a little Gerber mini tool set. However, I want to replace this because it doesn't have a can opener on it. So I want to get something that has a can opener, and I'm looking at a Swiss Army knife that just has a can opener, a pair of scissors, and a knife on it, which will work really well because then I can get rid of the scissors in my emergency kit. I have the stand that goes with the jet fuel, and then I have a mini Bic, and so you have the pot. What I like about this pot is it's a much wider pot than what you saw with the Stanley Cup, so it sits on top of the burner here a lot better. Because if you haven't noticed on the burners, these fold-up burners, they don't the things don't go out super far, so when it sits on top, the smaller cups barely fit on the inside, and they're kind of wobbly. So even this one here sits on there pretty good. It's still wider than the Stanley, so I do like that. And with this, I don't have to bring a Bic lighter, but I bring it as a backup, and also if I ever wanted to start a fire or do something else around the campsite, I can do that. So that's my complete setup for summertime. And I heard that at about 20 degrees, these stop working really well because they start getting frozen. So you got to either warm them up or do something like that. So that's that kit. For the winter, I decided this is the setup I want to go with. This setup, if I don't use if I use a rubber band instead of this case, this I can get down to 152 grams, and it's a alcohol stove. That doesn't include the alcohol. When I included the weight on this one, it did include the canister. So technically, the way through hikers that are gram weenies, they tend to not count this as their weight, but you got to carry it. And I calculated out sorry about that, my computer closed out on me. The alcohol, it takes an ounce or 0.817 ounces to burn, it's 1 ounce of alcohol to heat up 2 cups of water, and it weighs about 0.8 ounces. A canister takes 9 grams of liquid fuel, or the gas fuel, to heat up 2 cups. So the magic number is if you're going to camp less than 5 days, the alcohol is less weight. But if you're going to go out 5 days or more, then the canister actually ends up being lighter as far as the amount of fuel you have to pack. So on anytime you're going to go for a long stretch, and at 4 they're pretty close in weight. So anyway, I don't have any alcohol, or I would include include a 7-day supply so that you have a comparison to the jet fuel. Anyway, this kit has the cup with the lid so you can cook with handles. It has the stove sits like that. Have a mini Bic to light it. You have your alcohol stove that goes inside. You light it with your Bic. You set that on top, and then you have the windscreen that goes around it. Like that. And then I have once again, a fold-up spoon. And this one's a spork, but I have a fold-up that goes with this. So that's the setup I'm going to use during the winter time, because alcohol can light to like the negative Fahrenheit numbers pretty easily, and with the windscreen and everything, it should be able to heat it up pretty well. So that's my kits right now. My suggestion to people, or takeaway, is this isn't much cheaper than buying this. So I would go ahead and just spend the extra $20 or $30 and go ahead and get this, because in the end you're probably going to end up going to this anyway. When I started putting my total my pack out together, the weight on that, added with a lot of the weight of some of the other items that I was getting that weren't super light, adds up very quickly. So one of the ways you can really cut a lot of weight is just going to the cheaper or the more expensive camp set. But like I said, when you're talking about $20, that's not really that big a deal. And you'll know once you start buying items like the backpack, the tents, and all your other items, how fast the price goes up. So an extra $30 for your cook kit is worth it. So that's my suggestions. That's what I've got away from it. I haven't used the alcohol yet, but I have used the gas canister with this, and my children came out and they both had the cups out of there. And like I said, the tall Stanley cup was very unstable on the stand and ended up spilling on its own from the boiling of the water. So I would really suggest getting a wider pan like this. I think this might be a little too small unless you're one person camping and you don't plan on having hot liquids. I really would suggest like maybe a 750 ml. And this I bought because my wife is going to go out with me, and so it's just easier to boil for 2 people one time. So anyway, that's my takeaway. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments, and I'll try to get back to them as much as I can. Thank you for following my channel, listening to my video, and remember, have a good hike. Hello, my name's Chris, and this is my channel, Big Guys Hike 2. And if you haven't noticed, I'm a really big guy. I'm doing this video to introduce myself and also explain why I'm doing a channel. I retired from the U.S. Army, and on my last deployment, I injured my back in a rollover, and I'm unable to run or do any kind of sports activity. I quickly gained 100 pounds in the first year, and at the worst, I was 368 pounds. I developed diabetes and other health issues related to my weight. At this point, I knew if I did not do anything to change, I was going to die. So I started walking, and I did lose 68 pounds. And for the last 3 years, I've managed to stay under 300 pounds. However, my ultimate goal is 200 pounds, and I have not really lost any significant amount of weight since. Going to the gym or walking around a track for hours at a time is boring and monotonous, and I don't see myself being able to sustain any amount of time in weight loss doing that. So I looked into hiking as an alternative that would engage me and be sustainable over a long period of time. I'm a goal-oriented person, so I thought my daughter graduates, my youngest, in 4 years, and if I want to do the AT through hike, that'll give me 4 years to lose weight and prepare for that hike. which gets to the point of why I decided to do a channel. Through my research on the internet and YouTube, I kept seeing thin, athletic built people, and it was kind of intimidating and discouraging because, you know, being a big person, can I do it? Am I going to be able to be out there for 6 months on the trail? The other thing I noticed was that there just isn't equipment that's designed for bigger people. My wake-up call on that was I ordered a sleeping bag, and to test my sleeping gear and my new tent, I set it up in the backyard, and I wasn't able to zip the sleeping bag up because of the width of my shoulders. And I also had ordered a puffy that I couldn't even zip up, and it was a triple extra large, and I'm only a double X most of the time. So that was discouraging. And so the only person I saw that had a YouTube channel is a hiker that's called Second Chance Hiker. And I noticed that he used a double quilt for his sleeping bag. So that kind of was a cool thing to go to one of his sites and see that. So I thought to myself, why not do videos on my journey so that maybe other people that are bigger or a little bit on the large size have some place to go to encourage them or inspire them, or at least give them some hints or on how to get through some things, because I've already learned so much in the few weeks that I've been doing this already. So why not do a channel and hopefully help other people? So that's why I'm doing this channel. I hope that you get something out of them, the videos, and maybe subscribe and follow me. So thank you.